One thing that a lot of these passages that speak of God's holiness have in common is that the response of humanity is awe, wonder, and especially fear and trembling. We don't like the fear and trembling part because God is supposed to be loving and kind and merciful, and we shouldn't be afraid of him. And yet, if we do not have the proper respect for him, if we do not regard him in his holiness, his separateness, if we do not put him back on his pedestal, then we run the risk of taking all his other qualities for granted. And if we're taking all his other qualities for granted, his love, mercy, grace, then we are not truly worshiping him. We are actually only serving ourselves. If the thought of entering into his presence doesn't give even a little trepidation, then we probably don't have the right perspective on God. It is true that in Christ we can approach the throne of grace with confidence so that we may receive grace and mercy. But how often do we have confidence in God's presence because of Christ? And how often is it just that we do not have the respect and reverence for God that we should? Just because Christ has given us access to God does not mean God became less holy, less separate. So with fear and trembling, let us consider the greatness of God, the worthiness that he has of our acknowledgement of his greatness. A possible way to worship today is to meditate on Psalm 99, 1 through 3, and ask ourselves if we have a proper respect of God, or if we have made him too familiar. The psalm reads, "The Lord reigns, let the nations tremble. He sits enthroned between the cherubim. Let the earth shake. Great is the Lord in Zion. He is exalted over all the nations. Let them praise your great and awesome name. He is holy."